Hi, this is Jeffrey Hunt. This is my blog post for July 20th, 2021. A 5-planet feast. The summary of today's note is 5 planets are visible during the nighttime hours. Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury are in the morning sky. Venus and Mars hang above the western horizon after sunset, followed by Jupiter and Saturn return to the evening sky. In Chicago, on July 20th, the sunrise is 5:34 a.m. The sunset is 8:20 p.m. Our articles typically note events related to sunrise and sunset, so check your local sources for sunrise and sunset at your location. 5 planets are visible during the nighttime hours on July 20th. Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury can be found before sunrise. Brilliant Venus and Mars are in the western sky after sunset. Saturn and Jupiter are slowly entering the evening sky in the southeast. 1 hour before sunrise, bright Jupiter and Saturn are in the southwestern sky. Jupiter is over 1/3 of the way up in the sky above the south-southwest horizon. The Jovian giant is the brightest star in the morning sky. Jupiter is retrograding in Aquarius. This is an illusion from our faster-moving planet, catching up and passing the outer planets. Earth passes between the Sun and Jupiter on August 19th. A binocular will help you spot up to 4 of Jupiter's largest satellites. Saturn is nearly 20 degrees to the lower right of Jupiter. It is among the brightest stars in the sky this morning, but Jupiter, Mercury, Arcturus, and Vega are brighter. Saturn is retrograding in Capricornus. It is at opposition with the Sun on August 2nd. Many local astronomy clubs are resuming their public activities that include telescope nights at their local observatories or in parks or other public spaces with members' personal telescopes. Before the weather turns colder, go to one of these public events to view Saturn through a telescope. Seeing Saturn in its bright rings through a telescope is a memorable experience. Check for a local astronomy club near you. Not as bright as Saturn, the bright star Fomalhaut is to the lower left of Jupiter at about the same altitude above the horizon as Saturn. Mercury is also visible in the morning sky, but it is quickly slipping back into bright sunlight on its way to its superior conjunction on August 1st. This occurs when the Sun is between Mercury and Earth. Inferior conjunction occurs when Mercury is between the Sun and Earth. Mercury, it seems, is hugging the Sun. It hops from one side of the Sun to the other, alternating from morning sky to evening sky and back again. From the mid-northern latitudes, it rarely, unlike other uses of astronomy, other people's uses of the term rare, this means almost never. Mercury almost never appears in a dark sky for those of us who live at mid-northern latitudes. So this is clearly a rare event if it does. But right now you have to look for it in the morning sky in the east-northeast. Turning to the evening sky, brilliant Venus shines in the west-northwest in the western sky after sunset. If you look about 45 minutes, brilliant Venus is shining through the beautiful colors of twilight. Use a binocular to see Regulus to the lower left of Venus and Mars to the lower right. Venus and Mars at this level of twilight are not easily seen, and a binocular certainly gives you a good field of view. Venus is 1.6 degrees to the upper right of Regulus and 4.3 degrees to the upper left of Mars. Normally when you walk outside there on a night like this, you'll see that bright moon first. If you wait a little bit later, maybe an hour after sunset, you'll notice that there is a bright star to the lower right of the moon. The moon's about 88% illuminated tonight, This is the star Antares. The star Antares means the rival of Mars, but if you imagine its shape of a scorpion, Antares marks the heart of that celestial critter. Like Betelgeuse, Antares is a very large star near the end of its stellar life. Now, Saturn and Jupiter are visible in the morning, but they're also entering the sky in the evening. Both planets are nearing their opposition, as we mentioned in the morning note. At opposition, the planets rise at sunset and set in the western sky at sunrise. Leading up to opposition, the planets rise after sunset. This evening, Saturn rises 39 minutes after sundown. Jupiter rises about 93 minutes after sunset. After opposition, Jupiter and Saturn rise before sunset and are well up in the sky as evening twilight dims. As well as with a conjunction with Regulus tomorrow, there is a Venus-Jupiter opposition. This means that the planets are 180 degrees apart in their orbits around the Sun compared to our location. So Venus sets as Jupiter rises. In a week or so, both planets are visible in the evening sky simultaneously, but in opposite directions. Venus in the west-northwest and Jupiter in the east-southeast. Here is our daily detailed note for today. 1 hour before sunrise, bright Jupiter is nearly 33 degrees above the south-southwest horizon. Retrograding in Aquarius, it is 2.0 degrees to the upper left of Iota Aquarii, 4.7 degrees below Theta Aquarii, and 4.8 degrees to the lower right of Sigma Aquarii. Jupiter is picking up speed and beginning to reduce the gap to Saturn. The ringed wonder is 19.6 degrees to the lower right of the Jovian giant. Saturn is retrograding in Capricornus, 3.0 degrees to the lower right of Theta Capricorni. 30 minutes later, use a binocular to find Mercury, whose magnitude is negative 1.1, over 5 degrees up in the east-northeast. 45 minutes after sunset, brilliant Venus is over 8 degrees above the west-northwest horizon. It is 1.6 degrees to the upper right of Regulus, and 4.3 degrees to the upper left of Mars. The trio fits into a binocular field. As the sky darkens further, the bright moon, 11.0 days past the new phase and 88% illuminated, is in the south. It is 8.2 degrees to the left of Antares, which is Alpha Scorpii. Its magnitude is 1.0. Saturn rises 39 minutes after sunset. About 70 minutes after sunset, you can find Venus low in the west-northwest and Saturn about 5 degrees above the east-northeast horizon. Venus sets as Jupiter rises 93 minutes after sunset. They are at opposition tomorrow when their celestial magnitudes differ by 180 degrees. As midnight approaches, the bright moon is nearly 20 degrees up in the south-southwest. Farther eastward, Saturn is over 23 degrees above the south-southeast horizon, with Jupiter to its lower left, nearly 19 degrees up in the east-southeast. Thank you for listening.